Hold on. Live. Holy crap, it's another hangout.
Oh, it's gonna be a shit show tonight.
It's definitely going to be a shit show. Justin, of course, is where Justin always is.
Outside your window.
And I am, hey, this is not where I was before. Shit has changed.
Nick,
I'm in a new locale.
we found Nick a nice halfway house, and he's gonna get the help that he needs.
This is going to be actually, I guess, our second recording area. The fucking hell.
What are you doing? You the Chinese finger trap? What are you doing?
Yeah, kind of. It's one of those push pops.
Oh, the push pops. Push
Yeah.
push pop. Push pop something
It's
something
like a Chinese
something.
finger trap.
Yeah.
Whatever, eh?
The only thing that I remember about that song is at the end of it is like save some for later. That's all I remember from that song.
Oh man. But yeah, I've why can't I get this to go back? God dang it. Bobby.
Bobby, exactly.
It's not going back and forth again.
Oh, I guess so. It's not rotating.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, hooray!
People on the internet are probably going to be yelling at me just like, you're supposed to do this! And
I thought you were the tech one.
Yeah, I thought you would tech one.
because that's how people on the internet are.
I thought you were the tech one. You were supposed to be...
That is everyone's voice on Twitter, and you know that that's true.
Hashtag bleh.
Yeah, hashtag bleh. All right, folks. So as you would have been able to figure out from the theme song, this is Last Man Standing. We haven't done one of these in a while. We haven't done one since WrestleMania, I don't think.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. And to kick this thing off, this is our WWE Payback 2014 preview and prediction show, and basically we have to make a difficult concession here in saying that neither one of us has been watching wrestling the last little while.
Yeah, shit has been happening, and yeah.
Pretty much. Life. Nick's been busy as hell. Work has picked up for me. I think, tonight, I came from work. I got off work like an hour late or whatever because just garbage. And Nick has apparently had a busy day today as well. So this is as late, I think, as we have ever started a podcast before. But we're going to get into this, and we're going to be previewing a pay-per-view for a product that neither one of us has watched in weeks. But you know what? Fuck it. We're going to give it a shot.
Why not?
Go for gold, fuckers. Exactly. From what I've been hearing from a lot of people, I guess the product hasn't been, for lack of a better term, the product hasn't been very good lately. At least from what I hear from other people, they just seem to not be overly impressed with the last couple of Raws. People haven't seemed to like them very much, and that the build for this pay-per-view is apparently not great.
Well, come on. It's pretty much the exact same thing. It's them trying to take the belts off Daniel Bryan.
Right.
Kane coming back and doing his Kane thing, which is no.
His Kane thing with the Kane and the Kane stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Since he went to corporate Kane, the whole like him coming back and doing like 2 or 3 things is just it's horrible.
Yeah, it's been frustrating for like when and I've said this a couple of times on the podcast, when you had a real opportunity there to like make Kane the monster Kane and have it actually be done well, which was to make him the 4th member of the Wyatt family. They decided not to do that, and they went this whole Corp Kane thing. But now they want us to believe that he's the devil's favorite demon again, and it doesn't work that way. Like it doesn't. For me, that part of it hasn't meshed, and just there were a lot of things about the product that kind of, I guess, drove me away from it for a little bit, and NHL playoffs have been on and everything, so I've been watching other shit.
Which reminds me, how do you like Montreal?
Hey, they lost, but I thought they had a great season.
It's true. I just had to say it because
exactly. Just jab the knife in there a little bit. That's all right. That's all right. That's what this podcast is all about.
That's what they get for beating out Boston.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll take that shame. And we're exactly what the WWE feared when they put the belts on Daniel Bryan. Like we're the people. It's like, okay, they put the belts on him and they did it really well, and okay, the belts are on him now, and now people stop watching. And that's the biggest fear of WWE after putting the belts on them, is that the run isn't as big as the build. And like you can understand that because the build was 7-8 months in the making and everything like that. And shit has just been going downhill for the WWE. The quality of the program has suffered, and Vince McMahon has personally lost $750 million in the last week.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh my lord! If in case people don't know what we're talking about, WWE stock has gone down quite a bit in the last little while, and they signed a TV deal that was 50% higher than the deal that they had in place, but they were expecting the deal to double or triple, so that's not what they had hoped for, and all kinds of other stuff, and referees are complaining about their payoffs, and talent is complaining about their payoffs, and shit is just kind of going downhill for WWE lately. But here's hoping that this pay-per-view, this Payback pay-per-view, here's hoping that can kind of turn it around, because on paper this is not a bad card and at least has the chance to maybe do something and kind of get some more eyes back on the product, even though there is no title match, which is kind of the big story. And I guess we'll start there. The whole situation with Daniel Bryan, of course, having his neck surgery, still not cleared to compete, kind of doing a Stone Cold Steve Austin thing, like being injured but still being visible on the show. So the whole thing here is like Stephanie McMahon has been trying to get him to relinquish the titles because he's injured. And Bryan's saying, like, I don't have any problem relinquishing the title due to injury, but I'm not giving them to you. Basically, because you're a cunt and I'm not giving you my belts. So that's been the whole thing here. Now the build to this, or the big payoff, I suppose, is, and this is what happened on Raw on the 26th. Again, just reading the synopsis because unfortunately I didn't watch the show. Stephanie gave Daniel Bryan an ultimatum, and what that ultimatum was is that he either surrenders the belts at the pay-per-view, or she's going to fire Brie Bella, who is his wife now. So that's kind of where the storyline is building to at the pay-per-view. So despite the fact that he's not going to have a match, at least he's still going to be visible on the show.
Yeah. And
so, yeah.
I mean, I've thought about this, and if it was going to go that way and Daniel Bryan was going to relinquish the belts, who would you like? Would you want to go to the ring and like basically lay down for somebody, or would you like him to bring like say like Roman Reigns, which could have a good title run, and just say, look, I'm going to be injured for a little while. You take the belts and go with them. Kind of like pass it down.
Right, and that's kind of a tough question, actually. I've never liked the idea of a belt just being handed to somebody. Like, I remember when they brought in, when WWFE, whatever, first brought in the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, when they first brought in the WCW belt. They basically handed the belt to Triple H. Like, Triple H was the first ever World Heavyweight Champion, but Eric Bischoff literally just hands him the belt, and he's the champion now. Yeah. And like, I get for storyline purposes, but I never liked it because he didn't have to earn it, really. And I would like to at least see something. If Daniel Bryan's not going to have the belts, I would like to at least see something happen with the belts that would have some kind of match involved in it, whether it's a tournament or whether it's a championship scramble or what it is. But I would like to see something happen with someone within an actual match to see something happen with the belts. That's just me. What do you think?
Fair enough. I could go. Excuse me. I could go either way. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I haven't been watching wrestling.
Right.
So,
that being said, I'm totally cool with if they want to give the belts to Roman Reigns. I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if they want to do it that way, hey, why not? It's a good guy to have the belts, but I would like to see something happen match-wise for that to happen. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the championship at the pay-per-view. But let's get into talking about some of these matches. 7 matches announced on the card right now. Let's start with the pre-show match. Because, yeah. Well then.
Yeah.
So on the pre-show, we have a mask versus hair match, which is better coined in Mexican wrestling as a luchas de apuestas match between El Torito and Hornswoggle again.
The little bull!
The little bull. Nick is super happy about this match. So we got El Torito against Hornswoggle. If Hornswoggle wins, El Torito has to unmask. If El Torito wins, Hornswoggle has to cut his hair. Yeah. What do you think's gonna happen?
I think the midget is going to get his head shaved.
Yeah, you know what? I would almost have to say that too. Like I can't see them unmasking El Torito, or if they do, like he takes the bull head off and he's got another mask on under it or something. Like but I can't. I think it's funnier to see Hornswoggle with a shaved head, quite frankly. So I think I'll probably have to go with El Torito in this match as well. I'm kind of glad that this is on the pre-show, because I look at the rest of the card and I'm not sure what other match you put on the pre-show in order to have the midget hair versus mask match on the actual pay-per-view. So I'm glad this is on the pre-show. Yeah, I'll take El Torito as well. I would be very surprised if they chose to not shave Hornswoggle's head, because that just seems to be the funniest alternative.
Yeah, it really does.
So we've got, and of course, I mean, like they've been feuding for a little while, so I guess it makes sense. Apparently, the WLC match that they had at Extreme Rules really wasn't all that bad. Like a TLC match, but for midgets, and apparently it was alright. But I didn't watch it. I was washing my hair, so I didn't watch it. All right, let's go to the bottom of the card here. We've got Rusev against Big E. So apparently Rusev continuing his campaign to squash any and all black people. How do you feel about what they've been doing with, like, what they've kind of been doing with Rusev? If you don't know, basically Rusev has just been crushing black people. Like, aside from Zack Ryder a couple of times and one other person, I think, like, he's basically just been wrestling like R-Truth and Xavier Woods and Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. He's basically just been taking every black person on the roster and crushing them, which of course has the internet up in arms, because the internet gets up in arms about anything. So, like, I mean, I like Rusev. I think Rusev's a talented competitor, but what do you? You're sitting there yawning. What do you feel about the man they call Rusev?
I like him.
No.
What?
Did you say you say you like him or you don't like him?
Yeah, I like him.
Oh, you do like. Okay, I misheard you. I thought you said you didn't.
No.
I like him, and I like Lana. Like, I mean, I want to see more Lana on my TV screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you feeling about Rusev and Big E?
I don't really think a lot about it. I think that it's going to be an early card match.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I mean, fair enough, fair. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could see this probably being the second match and probably only giving them 6-7 minutes. Like, I don't imagine that this is going to be a long technical battle. I figure one of them's probably going to get clobbered real early, and I think that's probably going to be Big E. Big E's been on a bit of a slide. Obviously, he lost the Intercontinental title he had. Yeah, it was. Lost the Intercontinental title to Bad News Barrett, who is defending the title on this card. That'll come a little bit later. And so he's been on a bit of a slide, but they're kind of trying to build him as like the savior of the black jobbers, and I'm not 100% sure that I buy it. I think Rusev is a guy that they're trying to put in a position to maybe take a run at a title at some point when it works out. But for now, I figure Rusev is probably going to go over big time on old Big E.
Why not?
Why not? Let the trail of black jobber bodies continue. More Lana on my television screen. All right.
If it works, don't break it.
Well, yeah, there you go. Don't do what you did with Ryback.
Yes.
Right? Like, if something's working, don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they decided to fuck with Ryback. But all right, so I think we're both on El Torito, and I think we're both probably on Rusev to beat Big E. Let's go to the Divas Championship match, the bathroom break for many. This is Paige, of course, who is the Divas Champion, defending the title against Alicia Fox for some reason. So the way this has been going is they've, I guess, been kind of feuding over the last couple of weeks, kind of, maybe, sort of. Like, they've been kind of going back and forth. Paige beat her a couple of weeks ago. Alicia Fox, I think, beat her last week. I mean, I've never been a huge Alicia Fox fan. I don't, like, she's never come across to me as, like, a great worker or a good talker or anything like that. She's always been one of those that was just kind of there.
I kind of hate how they throw these Divas matches together, because you said they were kind of feuding. Well, yeah, but what justifies this match?
Right, and it's like when I say kind of feuding, I mean, like, again, I'm just like, they were kind of feuding, kind of, sort of, but not really, and this is the thing. This is a problem with the Divas division. There's no building of anything. Like, it all just kind of happens. It's like Vince Russo's booking the Divas division. He just throwing shit out there and hoping something's gonna stick, without any real build or anything towards it. Like, I mean, if you built a credible #1 contender, I'd be all for that, and then built a feud between her and Paige. But at this point, I think with the Divas title, I think everybody's just waiting for AJ to get back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I mean, that's it, because that's the rivalry. Because Paige beat AJ for the title, and we haven't seen AJ since. So we're just all kind of waiting for AJ to come back and build a credible feud over the Divas title. This is another match that I figure is probably only going to get 6-7 minutes on the card. Probably not including entrances. So I'm not hoping, or I'm not imagining that I'm going to get much from this match. Maybe Alicia Fox pulls in the performance of a lifetime, but I'm not overly expecting it. I'll take Paige, because I don't think you take the belt off Paige to put it on Alicia Fox, because I think.
God, no.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you agree, because it just doesn't seem like it's smart. So I figure Paige retains there, and we all wait patiently for AJ to return.
Yes. Very much.
Right on. So, moving up the card, we've got Sheamus versus Cesaro. Sheamus defending the United States Championship. So this is kind of interesting. In the rivalry between The Shield and Evolution, Triple H forced Dean Ambrose to defend the U.S. title in a battle royal, because he hadn't defended it in a few months.
Right.
So he made him defend it in a battle royal, and the battle royal was won by Sheamus, because they're not doing anything any better with Sheamus, so why not give him the U.S. title, I guess. So Sheamus wins that battle royal, so he's the new champion. Dean Ambrose didn't get a rematch. Luckily, he's doing something better. So now it looks like Cesaro's the #1 contender, because why not, I guess.
I guess.
I mean, at least it's a guy that's kind of on the upswing. No pun intended with swing.
Oh.
Oh, but puns on the Last Fan Standing podcast. So I guess you put Cesaro in there, and it's Sheamus against Cesaro for the U.S. title. Um, what do you think, sir? How do you feel? What do you think's going to happen? Is the title staying with Sheamus, or you think it's going home with the King of Swing, as it were?
Yeah. God. I don't know. I would like it to not stay with Sheamus.
Yeah, in case anybody doesn't know, we're not big Sheamus fans. We're not big on the old Sheamus.
No. So yeah. God.
It's
Yeah.
enough. What's that?
I'm not worth it tonight. Sorry.
That's okay. It's all right. So I mean, yeah, I mean, like it's kind of it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing, because it's not really something that has had any build to it. Again, it's another one of these things that just hasn't been built. But if this is the match and if this is the way that they're going to go, I think between the two of them, and I'm sure you're going to probably agree with this, I would much rather see the U.S. title be back on Cesaro. Because at least he's a guy that's got some upswing to him, and at least he's again, bump, no pun intended with fucking swing. But like he's a guy that's got some momentum and is over with the fans, and I think the fans are just starting to get tired of Sheamus because he hasn't. It's just the same thing.
Yeah,
that we've been seeing for years
since he's like, what is he? A baby face? Is he neutral?
He's a baby face with maybe he's a baby face with a very dull edge on him. Like he'll get pissed off, but that's about it.
So maybe time to turn him heel. Get some new girl on Sheamus.
Put a little heat on him. Especially with a lot of the fans that aren't overly into Sheamus's character right now, then why not? You turn him heel, and at least there's a little bit of interest there, I guess. So yeah, I wouldn't be against a Sheamus heel turn. I think it would be, in some ways, might be the best thing for him. What do you got there, sir?
Huh?
Oh, that's your fucking Nick's got a push pop. For anybody that can't figure that out, I was just like, what are you fiddling with? And it's got a fucking push pop.
Trying to keep my mind active right now.
Right, fair enough. God damn it, we're gonna get through this.
It's yeah. Hi.
Yeah, we're both fucking exhausted. Like there's no other way to put it. We're both really tired. But as far as Sheamus and Cesaro goes, I'd like to see the belt go on Cesaro.
Yes.
I don't necessarily think they should have taken it off Ambrose to begin with, but if they're going to, at the very least, put it on somebody interesting. And as far as I'm concerned, that is Cesaro.
Well said.
Well said. Let's go with it. Push pop.
Push pop. Approve.
There you go. Turn it right side up. All right. So let's go to the next match on the card, which is the Intercontinental title match of Bad News Barrett defending the title against Rob Van Dam. Now, Rob Van Dam came into the number one contenders spot through, I think it was beat the clock matches. It was like one week on Raw they had to beat the clock, and whoever won the beat the clock became the number one contender for the belt. And RVD ended up winning with the shortest time.
Sounds right.
What's that?
Sounds right.
Yeah, sounds about right. So RVD is the number one contender because reasons. And Bad News Barrett is the Intercontinental Champion because he deserves to be the Intercontinental Champion. All right, first of all, I don't think I've ever asked this to you. Will you marry me? No, I don't think I've ever asked you about... The look on your face was amazing.
I was thinking about it.
You're like, oh, maybe this isn't such a bad idea. How do you feel about Bad News Barrett? Like, is this a gimmick that you like, or are you happy to see him like back in the ring as opposed to just doing what he was doing, or how do you feel about old Bad News Barrett?
Well, I mean, I don't dislike it. I mean, it gave him something to do when he was off. I don't know if it was it for injury or.
You know what? I have no idea. I don't think he was injured, but I am going to go to the videotape here, and I'm gonna do a little Wikipedia research and see if I can figure out why he was out. But it's true. It did give him something to do, which was a plus.
No, as for the stuff like he's like said and all of that, some of it was just like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't really bad news. It was
Bad news.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, I don't know. It just could have been more like in your face and like really bad news,
Right.
rather than just like little rinky-dink stuff that you'd just be like, yeah, so.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, some of the stuff was a little weak, but in general, I liked. I always liked, because I liked when his music cued, because I love the beginning cue to his music, that hard guitar riff of like dan 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 dan. I like the beginning cue, and I was just like, oh shit, and then he'd raise up on his pedestal and say something stupid and bang his gavel. That'd just be like, I don't know, I must be simple, but I'm very entertained by this. But I was happy to see him come back, see him get back into the ring. I know for a long time, like when he was off television, he had problems with his work visa because he's British.
Oh yes.
He had problems with his work visa, but as far as like when he came back, when he was back on television again in like December of 2013, I don't know why he wasn't wrestling. I think maybe the front office thought that like you're better suited in this role for now, and we'll get you back in the ring eventually. And I'm sure he was wrestling on like house shows and stuff like that. But I was surprised that we went so long without seeing him wrestle on Raw. So I was glad that he came back. Now that my Wikipedia research is done for the evening, Rob Van Dam, I like Rob Van Dam. I don't have anything against him. Not gonna lie, he's not my favorite worker. He's flashy and his style is exciting, but I like a more technical style.
I liked him back in back in the old days when he could actually do half of the shit that he could do, and now he's not how he was.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No,
He's
fair enough.
old.
He has. Oh yeah, there's no denying that at all. I think if you try to compare what he did early in his career to what he's doing now, it's not a world of difference, but there's there's a definite noticeable difference in what he can do now versus what he was able to do when he's young. And you can say that about virtually any wrestler, but with a style like his, it's a little more noticeable because it's like you're not doing the same things that you used to do, and it's becoming more evident that you're getting older, I guess, would be the way to put it. Do you see them taking the belt off of Bad News Barrett?
For Rob and DM, no.
For RVD, no. Yeah.
No.
So if you were booking it at the very least, you wouldn't be taking the belt off of BNB at this point. No, and I'm pretty much the same way. Again, I like Rob Van Dam, but he's had the Intercontinental title a lot. I don't think another Intercontinental title run is going to help him overly. I think it's just, you'd kind of just be giving it to him to be like, here you go, enjoy, I guess. Yeah, so I don't see them taking the belt off of Bad News Barrett, so I'm going to take Bad News Barrett to retain. Booyah. All right, we've got 2 matches left on the card. They're the 2 biggest matches on the card. And exactly, 2. There's my camera, 2. All right, so they are the biggest matches on the card. I expect that I wouldn't be surprised to see both of these matches top a half hour. Just because of the style of match they are. In one case, the number of participants in a match, everything like that. But before we get to these last 2 matches, I just want to take a moment to remind people, because I've kind of found myself kind of thrust into the role of mediator here for anybody that's not in Halifax, but is trying to get a hold of the Eastlink TV episodes of Twin City Wrestling. So I want to let people know Twin City Wrestling is on Eastlink live every Thursday at 8 p.m., but only if you live in Halifax. If you live outside of Halifax, you can't see it live. However, if you are an Eastlink subscriber, then you can see Twin City Wrestling on Eastlink On Demand. It is free. They don't charge you for the episodes, but you, on your digital cable box, you hit your on-demand button. Could be VOD, could be on-demand, whatever. You choose Eastlink On Demand, which is the very first option. You choose Atlantic, which is the very first option. You go one to the right, which is the heading called Series. And you go down a couple of pages, and it's right there, Twin City Wrestling. The first episode of the show is on there, both in standard def and in high definition. So if you have an HD-capable box, you can watch it in HD. I watched the first episode last night, and I saw me, and I saw you. Yeah. Which is cool, because the first episode was a bunch of matches from the Liverpool show.
Yeah.
And one of the matches from one of the Forum shows, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I only caught a very quick glimpse of you, but I did definitely see you. And I was like, I know that guy. There's Nick. But like for all the matches from the Liverpool show, you can see, like, because of the way the camera was set up, you can see me and Rodney and Justin Carver sitting there. Cody wasn't there because he wasn't at the Liverpool show. But so you can just see us kind of sitting there, and Scott Simpson does all the commentary for it. His commentary is kind of hit and miss. It's good in some parts and not great in some other parts. But he frequently references the what he calls the smart Alex in the front row, and he's definitely talking about me and Rodney and Justin because we're like the one match Narcissus is supposed to be a heel, and we're cheering him, and El Hansomo's supposed to be the baby face, and we're booing him and all that jazz. But anyways, if you want to see some of the best maritime professional wrestling that you have ever seen, I wish this show would have been on TV when I was a kid, so I could have seen this good local talent. You're going to be looking for Twin City Wrestling, either live on Eastlink if you live in Halifax, or on Eastlink On Demand if you are an Eastlink subscriber outside of Halifax.
Nah. Say that I'm not an Eastlink subscriber.
Yes.
Is there still a way for me to get it?
I don't know. That's actually a great question. I honestly do not know the answer to that. I know it hasn't been like uploaded to YouTube or anything like that. I don't know the answer to that question, but I tell you what, this will be your teaser for next week. I will find out the answer to that question, and we'll come on the podcast next week, and I will let everybody know what the answer to that question is. But if you want to save yourself the hassle, just subscribe to Eastlink so you can watch Twin City Wrestling either live or in sparkling HD on Eastlink On Demand.
Do it.
So there you go. There's our advertisements for the day, and I'm sure Cyril Richards, the owner of TCW, our checks are, I'm sure, in the mail. All right. So let's take a look at the co-main event here. Co-main event is John Cena versus Bray Wyatt for the third pay-per-view in a row. WrestleMania, of course, was just a straight one-on-one match, which was won by Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme Rules was the Hell in a Cell match, which was won by Bray.
Mm-hmm.
So this is basically the rubber match. John Cena, Bray Wyatt. I assume this is going to be the blow-off of this feud. This match in a last fan standing. You betcha. Last fan standing match. Me and Nick are the guest timekeeper and the bell ringer, and we're going to be cutting a podcast while the match is happening.
Yeah.
If only that was true. In a last man standing match, John Cena and Bray Wyatt. So, this is a feud where, like, if you like us, if you haven't been watching wrestling for the last little while, probably haven't missed a whole lot, because the feud seems to be the same. I mean, it's basically like John Cena saying, "I have to save the little children from this creepy old man with long hair who lives in the bayou. Like, I gotta save people from this." And it's basically Bray Wyatt saying, "I'm gonna make John Cena snap," basically. Like, I'm gonna make him do the things that he says he's not willing to do, but I'm gonna make him do that because reasons. Like, a lot of WWE right now boils down to, I'm doing this because reasons. So, you know, it's not that I don't like the feud, it's just I'm waiting to see something new from these guys. Like, I'll watch these guys wrestle till the cows come home as long as they keep throwing new elements into the matches. If it's just the same match I've already seen, that I'm not interested in. But if you start throwing new stuff into it, then at that point we're getting a little better. I think you and I were kind of the same opinion when we were watching WrestleMania. We both really wanted Bray Wyatt to win the WrestleMania match.
Yes.
Because that felt like that was the time to make the superstar. Because it's the biggest show of the year, so it's like that's the time to do it. But they sacrificed that at the altar of another John Cena WrestleMania win, so fair enough. And then kind of just glad that Bray Wyatt won the Hell in the Cell, although that was, certainly wind assisted by the other members of the Wyatt family. How do you see this match going? It's last man standing. It's kind of one of John Cena's specialties between this and the I Quit match. They've kind of been hallmarks of Cena's career. But how do you feel this one's going to go?
Well, I don't. Well, I kind of have an idea. I mean, I guess with the Wyatt family, it's all freaky, let's go out and shit happens.
Right.
So, I can see it going kind of like that, They're fighting and then the lights go out, and it's just kind of like how it was before when John Cena was in the ring and the lights went out and it came back on. He was tied up in the ropes with the sheet mask on, and the
right
were in there.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it going.
Okay, and I've always liked that spot too. Like Undertaker does it, and Kane did it, and back with Gangrel and the Brood, I always loved when they would do that, and the lights would come back up, and it was the bloodbath. That was always great. And yeah, I always liked that gimmick where the lights go out and it's like, oh shit, what's happening? Lights come back up. It always seems to get a really good pop. So yeah, I would like to see something like that happen. I want Bray Wyatt to come out of this feud looking like a superstar.
Yeah.
That's what I want. No, but above and beyond anything else, I want Bray Wyatt to come out of this feud looking like a star. So if they have a phenomenal match and he loses, then at least he looks like a star. But I would obviously much prefer Bray Wyatt to win this match. So I'm going to go that way. I'm going to take Bray to beat Cena. Kind of blows off the feud, I would say. Maybe this is the time that we see Cena go heel. I doubt it. At this point, I think there have been so many opportunities that have just been squandered for that to happen that it's almost like it's just never going to.
I don't think that it is. How many people have said, it's going to happen, and it just never does.
Yeah.
Cena is too much of a money maker for the company.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take Bray. Maybe it's stupid to bet against Cena on pay-per-view, but I'll take Bray.
I'm taking Bray.
You're gonna take Bray too?
Yeah.
Right on. We haven't had a disagreement yet, have we?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I'm just not really awake, so I can't argue with you tonight.
It means he's impressionable.
Yes.
Hey Nick, take your pants off. Not on live stream. God damn it!
Wait, are you sure?
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. That's gonna get us kicked off the internet.
The whole switchy is said no.
Nick's, yeah, all right. Nick's got the whole world in his hands, and the whole world is his junk. God. All right, folks, main event time. Let's do this. A no holds barred, which is quite funny. Well, quite funny, quite ironic. No holds barred, so we better get this prediction right. 6-man elimination tag team match. Nick's doing spirit fingers.
La 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 la.
You love it. Evolution, Triple H, Orton, and Bautista. Take it on Deb Shields.
Now, do you even care that Evolution is back together?
Yeah. I kind of do. I like thinking about like what Evolution was when it was going and when it was hot, versus kind of what it is now. And I like the whole when they're just like 31 championships between the three of us and da 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 da. I don't mind it. I actually like it, because like, if for no other reason, it keeps Batista and Randy Orton away from the titles.
True.
Like, I guess if for no other reason, then at least they're doing something good with it. And these guys can get really good matches out of each other. Like the Shield is big in anything that they're in, but like Evolution is getting good matches, really good matches out of the Shield, and the Shield is getting great matches out of Evolution. So, you know, there's at least good matches coming from it.
True.
And I also kind of want that Evolution T-shirt. It looks kind of cool with the skeletons and shit. It looks kind of cool. So I am liking that. Obviously, I like that the Shield is still together, because that's the big fear is when are they going to break up the Shield. So I'm glad that they're still kind of together and doing something interesting. Who do you got, sir, between Evolution and dem Shield boys?
I always have to give it to the Shield. I don't know. They're the boys.
Yeah, it's true. And that's why it hurts me so much to go against them.
No. No, you can't. No.
Here's the deal.
Okay, I'm disconnecting.
Just going to mute my microphone and pretend to talk in my voice. I'm just joking. I meant it was going to say the Shield is going to win. I want, in my heart, in my wrestling heart of hearts, I want the Shield to win every match that they're in. But I think this feud still has legs for a little while. You're such an asshole. But I noticed it as soon as you did it and stopped talking.
I'm Justin, and I'm Justin, and I say the Shield is going to win. It's going to do it. I say, fuck you, Nick. Here's my two little fingers in the air. Okay.
You are just the biggest bag of dicks.
I do what I can.
Yeah, fair enough. I think the feud still has legs, but I don't think it has legs if the Shield wins every match. So I think, the whole theme of the pay-per-view is payback. So I think Evolution actually gets one over on the Shield. I think they find a way to very quickly eliminate Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. I think this is a vehicle to get Roman Reigns over even more. Because I think at some point this becomes all three guys in Evolution against Roman Reigns.
Well, that's the way that it's been going for the past while anyway. Because I mean, like Roman Reigns was getting the victories
Yes.
basically, and I mean there were a couple like go rounds where uh, God.
We're losing Nick, ladies and gentlemen. He's fallen asleep.
Yeah. Hi. Well, you know what I mean. Like he's been winning the matches
Yeah, for sure.
and shit like that, and it's been pissing like Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Reigns has been getting the majority of the victories and everything like that. So I do think it's gonna end up being all three members of Evolution against Roman Reigns, and I think Reigns gets the better of one or maybe even two of them and gets it like he's fighting, and it's all the way back down to a one-on-one. But I think Evolution does end up coming out on top, whether it's Orton or Trips or Bautista who finally gets the pinfall. And then I think that sets up a one-on-one feud, like a feud within a feud, if you will, feudception, between Roman Reigns and whoever that last remaining person from Evolution was. So I'm actually gonna go against my boys. I don't like doing it, and Tyler Selig's never gonna talk to me again. But I'm gonna have to go against them Shield boys, and I'm gonna go Evolution.
Okay.
Scary. It's a brave new world, and I don't know that I like it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is just about going to do it for the No Holds Barred Sleepy Cast, and I mean Last Fan Standing. I don't even remember what number of Last Fan Standing this is. I think we're getting close to 20.
It's numbers.
Yeah, it's numbers and it's stuff.
We will call this Last Fan Standing's numbers.
Exactly. Last Fan Standing, the number 23. Numerology, the number of the beast. So, folks, that's going to do it for this week, Last Fan Standing podcast. Enjoy WWE Payback tomorrow. It's live from, I believe it's the Izod Center in Illinois. It's just outside of Chicago. So being just outside of Chicago, you never know. CM Punk might come back.
No.
It might happen, you guys. It could happen, maybe. No, it's definitely not going to happen. I doubt we'll ever see him in the company again. I think he's enjoying his time off, and he's deserved it, I would say, over the length of his wrestling career. So, with that said, we will sign off for the evening, and we will get some sleep. So for No Holds Barred Productions and for the Last Fan Standing podcast, my name is Justin.
And my name is Sleepy Boy Nick.
Sweet. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye. I'm going to make myself a sandwich, another one, and then I'm going to lie down. I'm going to the races tomorrow, and hopefully people don't flip their vehicles.
Nice.
And then I got a big, long friggin' book to read.
Wow, that looks like War and Peace.
As it is not.
Ooh, very nice.
So on that note,
off we go. Good night, Nick, and good night, everybody watching. We will see you again next week.
good night, world.